Hey, Big Jake here. I'm just a regular owner, and I'm decided to put some aftermarket blinkers into my U-Force 800 XL. Not a lot of videos out there, so I thought I'd make one. And I went the route of putting in a generic uh, blinker kit, like a universal, for 125 bucks off Amazon, instead of going to the factory route and tying into my factory lighting. So the video I'm about to make is it sucks. Videography sucks. I say okay way too much. But if you're thinking about putting these blinkers in, it might help you. And that's the reason I'm putting it out there. So don't be haters. I was looking at, I only saw a couple videos about turn signals. And first thing I did, though, was buy this uh, little block here that plugs into your power and has an accessory power on it. And then I decided after looking around that I was just going to buy a universal kit. So here's what I wound up getting. And to kind of show you the components, there's a bunch of wiring harnesses for everything. A bunch of wiring harnesses for everything. Comes with a horn. And these are the lights. I decided I didn't want small lights like these. For one, I didn't want to commit to drilling on my sides, drilling through this stuff. So now I'll just be able to stick these on the outside of my plastics, double-sided tape. I didn't want to commit to that. And also, I bought a little miniature fuse block that I'm going to use. And I decided to run everything separate. So I got a circuit breaker I'm going to run to my battery. Um, and this is the little controller that comes with, I was taping it in place, kind of marking up where I was going to put it. Little controller that you wire all the blinker signals and lights and horn into. So I'm going to show you what this universal kit looks like installed. Like I said, I just decided I wanted everything separate. I didn't want to touch my factory wiring. A lot of these you splice into wires and stuff, and I didn't want to do that. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, next phase was to install my switches. So I got these two switches. Also, I have plans to put in some lights underneath. So I got an alien light switch for that. And off-road lights, because I'm going to put in, also have plans later to put in a light bar or some lights behind us. This little dude, I found this on eBay. And one thing I was worried about is there's nowhere on here that shows your battery voltage. So it's got two USBs in it. But also, when you turn it on, it shows what your battery voltage is. So I really like that. So I went ahead and installed that switch. And I thought, well, we got it open. I'm going to install all the switches, even though I'm not wiring the lights and other stuff yet. When I took this thing off, just pulled from the bottom and then popped the top off, this little white thing immediately fell off one of them. You just got to push it on there, push real hard to get it back on there if it falls off. And then if you can see right through there, I could kind of see that there was some light coming through. And so there's like a little bracket that holds this gear shift in place. And right to the side of it, I was able to, there's a little gap there that I was able to run all my wires right through there. And show you where that came out. And it came out right back here, way back there. And it was just perfect because then I just ran all my wires right over here to everything that I'm doing. Was able to wire those up. I installed this guy that's going to be for my lights. This way I can jumpers and have several wires going to different places when I put those lights in. And wired those switches in to 1 and 3, or correction, 3 and 4 on my fuse panel. I haven't wired the power yet for my backup lights or turn signals. I couldn't find my stupid label machine, so I made some notes for myself up here. I do need to do a better job of that, though, something permanent. And then I got this guy mounted and ran some of the wires to it. Put this in just to kind of hold all my wires in place. And next I got to work on my power wire for that. And I might have to break down and read the instructions. This wire is supposed to be for your backup sensor. I don't know. Why I need that, I gotta look that up, I guess. Or your brake sensor, one of the two. I guess if you're gonna have actually brake lights, the back ones will operate like brake lights. So I'm thinking I don't need that one, but I need to check for sure. Ran some more wires and coiled up all my extra here. That's um, some of the power or switch wires, pardon me. So now I'm going to work on installing my lights. Here's one of my lights for the front, and decided that I really like this spot right here because you'll be able to see it through this little slot when you close the hood. See right here. And this way it'll be in here but still be protected. I'll drive through a lot of tall grass, and so I really like that spot. So I think that's where I'm going to put the front ones. We'll see how that works out. So now I'm going to start running those. Okay, step one done. Mounted this horn here. It was an 8mm nut. I don't really know what threads were. It took me a couple of tries. Just ran it up through here and ran it across this bar on top. And then when I went over there on that side, that wire had quite a bit of spare length in it, so I wrapped it all around here, and that worked out real well. Came in here to my module, which I decided to mount right here. This module just got some double-sided tape on it. I don't know. I might wind up drilling a hole under here and doing a zip tie on it. We'll see how I feel about that later. But so step one, horn is installed. Okay, step two, double-sided tape my little fuse box here. And originally I was going to wire this power straight to the battery, but man, look how sweet that wire ran over here, and right to my little panel, this little auxiliary panel that I installed. So it turns out this one is ground, this one is always hot, this one is your accessory, which only is hot when the vehicle's on. So this little fuse box has a hot, a ground, and an accessory. So I wired all those together. But when I started it up, I had no voltage. It turns out this little fuse right here, super hard, this little red fuse right here, was blown. And on the thing, it's labeled right here as signal A. But that fuse was blown, and I didn't have any power coming to this accessory, and so I wasn't getting fused up. But once I changed that fuse out, now when I crank it up, my fuse box live, turn it off, fuse box, no power. So step two is now done. Okay, just gonna show you, zip tied these guys up here. Got this one too. I'm liking it. Hopefully it's gonna work. Made executive decision, and I cut off the little screw things that were sticking up because it was a real close fit. And then I ran that wire back here across this frame bar. Zip tied it. I'm gonna zip tie to this and come down here, follow this cable. I'm gonna come all the way back up here, and then I'll have to do something with all the slack because I bought this kit and it's extra long wire. I bought it on purpose like that. But I will say with this kit, I'm really impressed at how well everything is labeled. Good job. I definitely endorse the labeling, and I haven't had to look at the instructions yet, so we're doing good. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain this. This whole mess here, this is the power wire that goes to the control module, and it runs down here and it runs through this relay, and then you hook the relay up to power, ground, and then it also has a lead for your accessories, your ACC. The point of this whole relay is that ACC will turn the relay on and off and kill the power to the module when you're not running the machine. But I've already done that with my setup with my fuse box. So all I need is this thing. So I'm just going to cut this off. But if you don't have the setup like I do, you are going to have to install this thing. Yeah, it's kind of a lot of wire, but no big deal. Okay, got my power wire ran right here. I probably need to run it a little better. Wired it in here to one. So now when I turn my ignition on, power it up, module's powered up. I did install my lights up here. Pro tip, before you get too far along, start testing stuff before you're completely done and you put everything away and then you realize the damn thing don't work. So these are the day runner lights. Actually pretty happy with those. So come over here and test stuff. See, so I got my hazards. So I'll turn that on. All these buttons are momentary. You push them and then you push them again. Got my horn. I do wish these were lit up and stayed lit. So that, yeah, the blinkers are weird. So if I put that blinker on, that doesn't turn it off. You see it's blinking. And I have to hit the opposite side to deactivate the blinker. But I like that. I was worried with these being momentary switches that the blinker wouldn't stay on, but it does. And I like that it's blinking here. So hopefully I'll see it and realize, oh, my blinker's still on. Okay. All right. So now, there's my low voltage deal, 12.7. And see how the alien lights are lit up? I can see them at night. I wish these were lit up. I'm gonna check on that. But now I gotta start working on the back lights. Okay, it's the part I've been dreading. I'm running my wires to the back. So I kind of ran them all over here. And my plan is I'm gonna go down this thing and then up under here and kind of along the frame and above the plastic panel on the bottom. But anyway, see how this goes, man. This was a bear. There's like a million rivets, plastic rivets, and this crap. I'm trying to avoid all that, so I wound up stuffing a wire trace up here. Hey, Jake, why you got all this extra wires? Okay, so I decided if I'm going to get underneath this thing, get my old butt underneath here, I'm going to go ahead and run some wire for the lights and a wire to the battery and get my power up here. I might as well run it all while I'm running at the same time. So that's what that's about. So wish me luck. I'm gonna get underneath this thing and see how that goes. Okay, update. Wasn't really liking how exposed this wire was gonna be before hitting this panel. So as I'm pulling it, I'm gonna add this um, little plastic cable conduit that's split, just to try to give it a little more protection while it's in here. So I'm gonna pull that along with it in place. Okay. Sure, there are better ways of running this wire, but I took this thing and stuffed it kind of down here, right underneath the floor, kind of next to the frame, but above the skid plate underneath it. Ran it all the way over here and stuck it through there and taped my wire through it. We're going to pull it through like that. Okay, good news, bad news. Good news is I got my wire pulled. Uh, that was about a 2 beer operation, and I had to call in my wife to pull on one end for me. And but I got it through there. It was a little rough. Bad news. Once I got the wire back here, I realized it's long enough to go about to that spring. Not really where I wanted to put it. Um, I wanted to run them along just like that wire there, and then run them to the corners of the beds and mount these lights right next to the tail lights. But that's not looking good. So my options are, maybe I could run around the other side, which I really don't want to do that. That would be probably way more beers. And I think I'm gonna run them up here and just mount them on the crossbars. It's a little cheesy. Wasn't really what I envisioned, but I've got just enough to get me over there and mount it up there. So that's what we're gonna do. Really, some other options. Where close this thing. Sorry, it's getting kind of dark out here. I wanted to mount them right here. Thought it was gonna be perfect, be sweet. Well, not enough wire for that. I do have enough wire to run them right to here, which would be very visible from the back. But right by that muffler, I don't want to put it by all that heat. So um, my options up here are to mount them right here or up here. And I'm worried if I put them down here that, when you're further away, worried when it's further away, you won't be able to see them. So I think I'm going to go with the crossbars. We'll see how that goes. Okay. I keep saying okay in all these videos, and the videography sucks, so get over it. If you want help, that's what you gotta deal with. Anyway, got these installed, and I think they look pretty good, you know, when you're kind of course it's dark out here, but I mean, it's gonna work. I'm happy with it. I think I used probably 20 zip ties, but it's all zip tied in. I'm not real happy with these connectors being exposed and the labels being exposed. I think I'm gonna try to find some kind of wrap to cover those up, but it's gonna work, man. I got blinkers. Last thing I did was I took this little red wire right here, and that it says brake controller or something like that on it. Basically, the back two red lights will stay on all the time, but when I wire this into 12 volts, when it gets 12 volts, it makes those lights brighter. So I decided to wire it in to my brakes. So right here's my master cylinder, and on the end of it, there's a switch with some wires coming out of there. And I traced those wires up, and I had to pull back this bulb, this cover and everything here, and I figured out that this was my wiring harness, and had my wife step on the brakes and figure out which one had 12 volts on it. So I spliced that into that wire, and so now when we hit the brakes, the back lights will come on. And we are installed and done. Show you those day runners. Oh man, exposure's probably gonna be terrible, but they look really sweet the way I got them mounted in that little cutout there, and I'm really happy with that, actually. All right, let's turn on some more. So the day runners are white, and then turn signals and flashers are orange. Really liking them there. Like them there a lot, actually. On the back, I did wind up just putting them up on the pillar. I didn't want to run new wire. But there's the red ones in the back. As you can see it, they're on those crossbars with the headrest. But I think they're very visible, so I'm gonna feel good about that. And that's really looking good. As a bonus, there. I'll turn that off. See, yeah, those don't light up at night. I really wish they lit up at night. That's my only complaint about this kit. The wiring was good. Well, the back wires weren't long enough, but um, the wiring was clearly marked. Instructions are okay. I didn't really look at them a whole lot, but so as a bonus, there you go. Everything's installed and working, and I'm actually pretty happy with it. And all looks good. Stock lights look good. So just as conclusion, you know, if you hung out and watched it, I hope it helped, and thanks. Um, Next project is definitely a windshield. Starting to get cool. And I really like to find one that's like 1/3 solid and the top thirds folds up, that would fit this stupid 25 U-Force 800 XL that we don't put any parts on. Come on, aftermarket, let's go. We need some windshields. And also sound system. I might go the cheap route. I ripped this thing out of my hot tub as a Bluetooth system, and I bought a couple outdoor speakers. So a little hint of things to come. I might make another video about sound system in my U-Force 800, so we'll see. All right, hope you guys liked it, and throw me some good comments if you actually got something out of it. I appreciate you.